And now on the line is Irena Cvetkovic, the manager of Athlone Community Radio. Irena, welcome to the programme.
Thank you very much. It's lovely to talk to my colleagues from Near FM.
Okay. Irena, I know the last year and a half have been challenging for everyone in the world today, and I would like to in a few minutes hear about how you and Athlone Community Radio have been managing since March of last year with the COVID restrictions. First of all, though, this year is a big celebration year for Athlone Community Radio in general, I believe, as you are 10 years broadcasting this year. This is a big question, but could you start off by telling our listeners on Near FM a bit about the history and evolution of Athlone Community Radio and your involvement with it, please?
I will, of course. Well, basically, I am involved with the setup of Athlone Community Radio Station since organizing our first public meetings with community. I was before that involved with Ross FM, and I knew Mary Lennon, who is now the representative of CRAIL and Community Radio Forum of Ireland. And we met in Ross FM, and then we thought that Athlone needs the radio station. So from the first public meeting, one in 2006 and then throughout 2007, we were working on the proposal, and then we got a provisional license in 2008. So our first ever broadcast from 88.4 was on 15th of March 2008. And then, as you know, all the steps to become a community radio station permanent is to make your case during the provisional license. And then we were lucky that 14th of January 2011, we signed the contract and we start as a valid community radio station. And so that's why we kind of celebrated 10 years during the COVID. I was working as a researcher and a journalist and a sound and vision coordinator for almost 8 years or 9. And then last 2.5 years, I took a role as a manager here in Athlone Community Radio.
All right, cool. I know that Near FM have a big connection with Closter Dooley College of Further Education in Coolock. Are you using Athlone Community Radio connected much with Athlone Institute of Technology?
Well, interesting that you asked me that, because I am just coming from one launch of one project with AIT, but Athlone Institute of Technology won't be for long anymore. I think it was a big news that finally Athlone IT will get the status of a university, and they applied that together with Limerick Institute. And from Friday, then we are going again to AIT for this big celebration. And surely we do have good connection. We had a program called Student Cast, and usually we will have a live broadcast from the AIT, from the student union, let's say. Then after that, because they have their own studio, we were getting some of the recordings, and we were covering that program. Right now, we don't have that in the schedule because we kind of changed our schedule, as you were mentioning, COVID, and but we are waiting for that to come back. And this particular launch that I was today was, this is something that the students and professors are organizing with their, for example, final year student from digital marketing or digital media, and they're appointing students to one of the organizations. So we were today at the launch of that project.
Okay, and I think you're telling me it's this Saturday, is it, that AIT is going to be launched as the university, is it?
Yeah, this Friday.
Oh, Friday. Okay.
Yeah, it's a big celebration in town, and it is a big deal. I was just talking today to professors there. It's both of those. It will be one university, Limerick and Athlone, and they will have 14,000 students, which is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. This program we're talking on Near FM will be going out the following or 2 days later, so just our listeners can bear that in mind. Okay. I know over the last couple of years there's been a lot of changes in the universities in Ireland. There's MUT as well, isn't there? MTU down in Cork. And
yeah.
Okay. You mentioned the impact of COVID on your a bit about the impact of COVID on your programs. Could you tell me a bit more about your programs on the station and how the COVID restrictions have impacted on your work since last year?
Yes. Well, I have to say I'm really proud of the whole team here in Athlone Community Radio, because we've quickly picked up on what's going on, and we reorganize how we are doing the programs. We didn't stop for 1 minute, and we actually prolonged our broadcasting hours during the COVID. With the lockdowns, we need to change our schedule. And, for example, very niche program that is like Teen Scene, that was done by TY students, foreign language program that brings community, especially from the local asylum seeker camp center. That we did have that restriction, so we kind of had to change our schedule. So we prolonged our current affairs program at Athlone Today, that was for 2 hours, to be every day 3 hours, because we realized that the people are really eager to get the latest local information, what is open, what is closed, and we did provide that, and we had amazing response from the community. And as I said, we prolonged our broadcast hours mainly because we decided to, literally from the lockdown, we broadcast a mass from the local parish, St. Mary's Parish, and also we had a broadcast of the Methodist Church on Sunday. And that resulted in a bit change of schedule, and we are proud that we have more broadcasting hours and actually less repeats than ever. Most of our broadcast people were doing from home, and we set up the remote system that people could control the desk from their homes, which really helped us during the lockdown. But there is few of us, I have to say, who were at the station all the time. And as you know, Raidió was part of essential services, so we did have a license to come to work, as you could say. But as you know, like we are all tied up with the program policy statement, so we are under Broadcasting Authority of Ireland rules. So I think step by step we are coming back to our old schedule and another niche programs. We are getting back our program Across the Divide, which is the multicultural program, and Connect, which is for community groups. Foreign language program, we have a team back who will do that, and then we are very hopeful that we are on a right way to go back to the old schedule plus the broadcasting hours who are now prolonged.
Okay, there are, I believe, around 20 community radio stations in the Republic of Ireland. My impression is that your community station is one of the most developed community stations in the country. Would you agree with this?
Sorry, can you tell again that we are most...
No, I think my impression is that you are one of the most developed community...
developed.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I will surely agree with you, to be honest. Being involved with this station since its infancy, I can just see the changes. Not just that we have more offices and another studio, but we have more and more volunteers. We have 70 volunteers, 15 staff members. We are lucky to get many people on those schemes, government schemes like TOOS or CE or Job Initiative. We are a hub for community groups to get together. Same as Near FM, probably. We are bringing community groups who are organizing their own programs and making self-sufficient volunteers who are capable to do everything on their own, come in, do their program, operate with a desk, help us during the COVID, because all the time during the COVID, we still have 7 to 10 regular volunteers who were still coming actually in the station, and they were doing the program. Also, from the point of training, we are with the local community development, which is in our case Westmeath Community Development. We are in very good relationship with them. So we are providing training for them. Before COVID, we had summers with the Spanish students, and we have TY students doing working practice here. We also have AIT, soon to be university, students who are doing sound or digital media, who are coming to us, and we are very relevant in the community. And what we could see that, for example, during the COVID, one of our very informative interview with local Garda had almost 5,000 listeners. So in a town of 20,000, I think that show how relevant we are and how people come to us for the right information.
I was just going to say that you are very kind of popular on social media, aren't you, in general?
I think we are. We do have our website, and we have 8,500 followers on the Facebook page, and we are on Twitter, and we are on Instagram, and really some of our programs are really very, very popular with people. And I think our morning program, Brekkie Fix, that has this music maybe for a bit older generation, but the interaction with our listeners during that program is amazing. The amount of text that we are getting, it's very local, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and he's a big on YouTube, on Mixcloud as well, aren't you?
Yes, our podcasts are great. I mean, recently we were doing a podcast on our program. We were interviewing local homeless people, and that reached almost 3,000 listeners. And that's how important we are to really be a voice of community, and not just the current stuff. We are great in making documentaries, going back to Athlone and area heritage, and some of our documentaries are really, really very popular and listened to.
Okay. I mean, are you in the station happy with the resources that you have, or is there anything more that you are calling for from the Minister of Communications, Catherine Martin, and the Broadcasting Authority of Ireland?
I mean, I think this is the question that everyone from community radio involved in the management or any other capacity will tell you, that we do need more. We always need more. I have to say, and maybe you being involved with Near FM, people who are involved in something like community radio, who is not for profit, and even the people who are paid for are on the lowest wages, they do bring enthusiasm and believe in the ethos of the community groups like this. So it much more depends of the really enthusiasm of the people. And of course we always need recognition from the government and from other instances in Irish politics, because we do need resources. I think every community radio station is struggling, and it's constant race with the funding applications and with the to keep the station going with the paying utilities, rent, which is very high for us, and just if something wrong with the desk and we need to fix it. So maybe sometimes that level of involvement could be lacking of something else, that we could put our effort more into community development, for example. But we are doing well on that side as well.
Are you happy with the facilities you have as regards, or do you want to move to a bigger premises, or what's the story?
To be honest, considering the space where we are, we have enough space. We have 2 studios, and we have one main office, and we have managers and administration office. But the problem is for us, and I know some other community radio stations have the same problem, is the rent that we are paying. And that's the thing that really, that's our main, let's say, fee that we have to provide every month. And it's hard sometimes to reach that. So we would like if we could actually take some space that could be very lower rates of paying the rent. But right now we are here, and for now we are staying at Brunel Square here in almost city centre of Athlone town.
Okay, Irena, to come towards the end of the interview, there are only 3 months left in the year. Do you hope to have any other events before the end of the year to celebrate your 10-year anniversary?
Well, thanks for asking that. Yes, we kind of organised 12 months as a kind of celebration of our 10 years anniversary. So for Christmas, we already started a fundraiser called Christmas Variety Show, where community were sending us videos, and we have more than 56 videos. People were singing or doing magic or doing many things. All talents were welcome. And that was part of our fundraiser, which had a GoFundMe page, 10K for 10 years. And then after that, we had a celebration on 14th of January, which unfortunately wasn't face-to-face, but we had more than 25 voices and people who were involved with the station and guests on the phone or in the studio. After that, we had a May Day challenge, which was we were encouraging people to walk 5 kilometers, read a book, and to support local non-for-profit community station. And then we're happy. We just started today a campaign for our next fundraiser for our 10 years anniversary. And I think it's very good because we will do what Raidió is doing, and that's broadcast. And we will have music marathon, and we call it Halloween Music Marathon because it's on 29th of October. So we are going from 7 a.m. to 3 a.m. the next day, and we had some of our volunteers who will be the same as local DJs from maybe 30 years ago, and some of our volunteers. So it's beautiful. It's only music, and we just selling sponsorship for a certain amount of time in the program. And as we are a diverse radio station, as every other community radio station, we have diverse music as well. Like earlier in the day will be a bit of evergreen, then one hour of classical music, a little bit of trad, a little bit of youngish music, charts, and then in the evening we'll just really have those famous DJs and rock and roll. So if your listeners want to hear good music, they can always find us on the internet as well, broadcast, and listen to us on 29th of October. I would just like to emphasize how the team here in Athlone Community Radio is the core of our success. I think everyone involved here, they're good friends, they're good workers, they're great team workers, and I think behind our success, I think it's people at the end of the day.
And this year, Irena, tá Deirdre Ó Murchadha ó Raidió Pobail Átha Luain nó Athlone Community Radio as Berla. A Deirdre fáilte go dtí an clár?
Gur is míle maith agat Darren, tá áthas an down bheith an seo an phone do clár ag caint leatsa mar jaall Raidió Pobail Átha Luain 88.4 FM.
Okay, go bra. A Deirdre, tá córa amach a go mar an mullen gear a gundé na hirbhí de bhar go raibh mé Macóní an sin ar feadh cúpla bliain ar bhí mé óg, agus de bhar go bhfuil aithne go mar rointíní na gcónaí sa bhaile sin go fáil. Cá mar rán nach bhfuil an irid aithne a go mar bhaile Átha Luain, bhí sin as tar dús roint poibdeachta a dhéanamh dar néistóirí in Maidí Athlé faoi star Raidió Pobail Átha Luain agus an tábhacht atá leis na hol?
Darren, I 2016 tháinig roinnt daoine le chéile chun grúpa stúratha nó coiste stúratha a dhéanamh chun Raidió Pobail a bhanig. Tosnig an stáisiún Raidió Pobail Átha Luain I 2017. For an stáisiún an ceadúnas créalacháin sealadach an 15 de bhí márte 2008. Cúmar an éir an géadúir an lá sin, agus ina dhéag sin for Raidió Pobail Átha Luain ceadúnas 10 mbliana an 4 lá déag de bhí enar 2021.
Okay.
Cosúla gach stáisiún Pobail is cólacht nav rabus Raidió Pobail Átha Luain, caithfidh an stáisiún bheith díreithe an Pobail agus freistal himine an Pobail. Tar bheith seo síalta as thuláir den Pobail Dáilcheantar agus so láireacht agus takeíocht reachtain ag daoine éonar agus ag grúpa Pobail a bhfuil ina chonaí sa cheantar freisin, seo freisin.
Okay, an féidir leat acu thuirstún maidir leis na gláir atá agaibh ceile lá nó chuile seachtaine?
Darren, is iad na thuaireanta creailteoireachta idir a 8 clog ribhnón agus a 8 clog iarnón ón Luain go dtí de híine agus an saharnagus an dánach úr a clig níos lú 9 clog go dtí 8 clogs tróna. Tá míid ag creaile 8 dó úr sa seachtain, gach seachtain. Agus gach lá sa seachtain ón Luain go dtí an ine bíon clár ceol éadrom críocht siúl, an tanimh tá ná an brecifix, agus leanan sé feadh 3 úr a clig, agus ina dhéag sin crealann an tafran bio gach lá sa seachtain. Agus ina dhéag sin freisin cuireann crealann clár ceol bio amach agus bíon murna nuachta ann sa clár sin freisin. Cuireann clár irise I láthair bio gach lá sa seachtain ó Studio á Luain nó as teach féin an láirthóir. Agus bíon a lán chláircha eile siúl I rihan seachtain agus ag an deir seachtainna chláircha cosúil le ceol tíre nó ceol ghaelach ceol ó áiteanna agsúil ar domhan ceol clasicach clár I deangacha ísachta clár sport clár religiúnacha scéalta an ama hart clár cultúrachta clár fashionéise a lán chláircha an bhfuil iscat. Clár déanta leis na Mic-Léan agus clár déanta leis na agrathíochta Pobail cosúil le St Hilda's Services agus a lán rudí mar sin.
Agus tá clár a got ar an stáisiún nach bhfuil?
Ja, tá clár a gomsa tá mise mar láirthóir ar clár irise Athlone today ar an Deirdre gach seachtain. Agus tá sé sin seoil sé amach ar 2 clog go dtí a 5 clog. Gach lá ach tá mise ar ann ar an Deirdre.
Okay.
Agus de réir a bhí no ceartlóir se Lenny Greg.
Okay, fecamóna man so síalta ghuiil an tóir ar an stáisiún. Go páirsanta agus mé gobar le cúpla stáisiún Raidió Pobail in Maiile clé fecam buntáiste ionach mór leis na man so síalta chun níos mó poibleochta dhéanamh ar chlár agus agla raidió. Tá an cócaige céine a gcuibh Raidió Pobail á Luain nach bhfuil?
Ja, ceapan go bhfuil an ceartagat in tíam leat mar jouler sin. In Maiile Luain úsáid méid na man so síalta gach lá chun an schedule a chur le chéile agus chun na chláracha éonar a chur os cór an loch Pobail. Tá fuair na gcuin déanta le daoine as na gláracha éonar agus bhíonn siad ag teagháil lena chéile I ngach grúpa ag ar na man so síalta. Úsáid méid na man so síalta freisin chun ar glár agus imeachtaí speisialta ógurt lena a rítar ar na imeachtaí tomsa airgid. Úsáid míid freisin chun daoine ar cú agus chun daoine spreaga chun teacht chuig an stáisiún, cuairteoirt oring agus smuoinnig ar obair dheonach a dhéanamh, agus cosúil le gach stáisiún eile déanamh míid a lúnt ar saorálathe chun clár tafta, a harga, a chuir láthair, a chuir négar agus mar sin. Agus freisin úsáid méid na man so síalta chun go mbeadh na saorálaí agus an fuair stáisiún in an labhairt agus teagháil lena chéile.
Fecam ghuiil sé bhán a mhór ar YouTube agus Mixcloud.
Tá tan ceartgat.
Okay, agus tá sé bheith calóra osachta bheith de bliana ar an bhád im lína. An féidir a rálum a Deirdre an bhfuil mór an deisna goibh a bheith calóra mór an na réir im lína de bhar srianta COVID-19?
Tá a lán dúláán ag gach éon cólacht nabh rábais sa tír nó sa domhan airgid áil chun bheith inán ar seirbhís a chur scór an Pobail. Tá gach éon agríocht a géirí an vírus an COVID-19 bharachtáil ach tá deisina an freisin agus caithmid agus caithigh gach duine a bheith ina gúiseacht chun na deisina sinna eáil. Có fada agus is bhfuil isagam ba hina an céad stáisiún a chréal an affran amach bio gach seachtain, gach lá sa seachtain, agus freisin bhéadíomar ar nuairnta créalachta le linn na tréimhse deacra seo. Bhíomar in an níos mó ná 5 uair eile a bheith ar an air ná mar a bhí ribh na sríanta COVID-19.
Okay, on ein plan no ócáidí eile spéisialta planáilte gibh sa stáisiún a Deirdre na mína tá macrón leis an galóir atá gibh imlín agus sibh de bliana an bhád?
Mar dúirt mé hena í míana tomid ag clúra ar gomóra ar géad ceadúntas Raidió 10 mbliana ó údarás craolacháin na hÉireann, agus ar í a hána beag clúra eile a gcuin is an céad bhíor eile ag ná an marathon ceol í a hána an teidir atá ar Halloween Music Marathon. Bíimiid bio ar an air ó 7 ar maidin ar an ine ar an fiannéú lá de bhí deirfór go dtí a 3 gomach ar maidin ar an 3 lá déag de bhí deirfór. An lá ine go léir go dtí maidin an saharn, gomach ar maidin an saharn. Bíimiid ar ann ar feig 20 uair ag craoladh amach go dtí an Pobail. Tá GoFundMe page a gcuin chun airgid a thiomsú agus is an bhíonn seo ar gomóra 10 mbliana ná an ócáid bhaillethe airgid is mó a bhíonn a gcuin. No tá anáthas orm bheith ag caint leatsa mar jaall ar Raidió Pobail Luain agus táimid ag súil go mór le 10 mbliana eile gombeadh míad ag os cóir an Pobail in an Luain agus an Dáilcheantar.